Hi, hello, good morning. So, welcome to the class number 5, I think so. 4 or 5? 5 anukunta. Okay, class number 5. From we are discussing the financial accounting. We have started the discussion of double entry system. In a transaction, we are having the two outcomes. One outcome must be a debit accept, one outcome must be a credit accept. In that, we have started the discussion with, we are having the three approaches, right? Yes, traditional approach, modern approach, and accounting equation approach. In that, we have discussed the traditional approach. In the traditional approach, we have to divide the each and every transaction into the three categories of three accounts. What are the accounts? Personal account, real account, and nominal account. What is the personal account rule? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Next, real account, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Next, nominal account, debit all expenditure and losses, credit all incomes and gains. But in our class, we are using the modern approach or traditional approach? Modern approach. So we have divided into the page into the two parts. Left hand side is called as a debit and right hand side is called as a credit. So dealer, D-E-A-L-E-R. D stands for drawing, E for expenditure, A for assets, L for liabilities, E for equity, R for revenue. Okay na? So please give me 1 minute. Okay. But finally, we are divided into four categories. Drawings is also called as asset, capital is also called as liability. So mainly we are having the four categories: expenditure and assets, incomes and liabilities. Okay, now expenditure and asset are debit balance, income and liabilities are credit balance. So what is the meaning of debit balance? Debit side is more than the credit side, then we will call it as a debit balance. If in a particular account credit side is more than the debit side, then we will categorize it as credit balance. If the debit balance increases, what we will do? We will do the debit. If the debit balance decreases, what we will do? We will do the credit. In the same way, the credit balance increases means what we have to do? We have to do the credit. If the credit balance decreases means what we have to do? We have to do the debit. So when the asset will be increases, when the asset will be decreases. So in the same way, expenditure and the income is always increases. When will be the liability increases and when will be the liability decreases? We already discussed in a clear manner. Yes or no? For example, at the time of taking a bank loan, okay na? So here the liability value increases or decreases? Increases. Okay na? So at the time of repayment of bank loan, the liability value will be decreases. Okay na? At the time of purchase of asset, the asset value will be increases. At the time of sale of asset, the asset value will be decreases. In the same way, we have discussed from the point of view of debtor and from the point of view of creditor. So from the point of view of debtor, when we make the credit sales, debtor will come into the picture. Okay na? So here at the time of making the credit sales to the debtor value will be increases. At the time of repayment by the debtor value will be decreases. Next, sales returns. In the case of sales returns, the debtor value will be decreases. In the case of discount allowed, the debtor value will be decreases. In the case of bad debts, the debtor value will be decreases. Now debtor is an asset. Asset means debit balance. If the debtor value increases, what we have to do? We have to do the debit. If the debtor is an asset, if the asset value decreases, what we have to do? Credit, because the asset is having a debit balance. Next, when come to the picture of creditor, okay na? Creditor comes into the picture in the case of credit purchases. Yes or no? At the time of credit purchases, the creditor value will be increases, because the liability increases means automatically creditor value will be increases. So in the case of creditor value increases, liability increases. Liability having which balance? Credit balance. Increases means what we have to do? Credit. Next, at the time of we are making repayment to the creditor, at the time of making repayment to the creditor value will be decreases. So creditor liability, credit balance decreases. What we have to do? Debit. Okay, na opposite. Credit balance decreases means we have to do the debit. Next, at the time of purchase returns, the creditor value will be decreases. So creditor is a liability, credit balance decreases. What we have to do? We have to do the debit. Next, in the same way, discount received or allowed? Discount received. It is an income. Yes or no, ma? In this situation also the creditor value will be decreases. So creditor is a liability. Okay, now credit balance decreases. What we have to do? We have to do the debit. Okay, now why you are going that much fast means we already discussed in the previous section itself. Okay, now after that we have started the discussion of journal entries. So we already started the discussion of journal. Okay, now the process of recording the entries in the books of journal is called as a journalization or journalizing. Okay, now we will record in the books in the form of entry format. That entry is called as journal entry. Okay, now so first of all we have to record the name of debit asset. Next we have to record the name of credit asset. So these are all the things we have discussed in the previous section itself. Yes or no, ma? Yes. So first entry we have discussed what, ma? Cash paid to the Shiva of rupees how much? 20 lakhs. Here the two outcomes are cash and Shiva. Okay, na? Even though here this is a cash transaction, the person will take into the picture. Why, ma? Because there is no another asset if you observe. Yes or no? So cash and Shiva. So cash means what? Asset having a debit balance. So cash paid means decreasing or increasing? Decreasing. So that what we have to do? We have to do the credit. Next one what, ma? Shiva. When come to the Shiva point of view, Shiva is a person. But normally we will use the personal account rule. But here we are following what, ma? Modern accounting approach. So we are paying to the Shiva means Shiva is a creditor. Yes or no, ma? Yes. So at the time of making the repayment to the creditor value will be decreases. So Shiva, creditor, that means what, ma? Liability. Having the credit balance decreases. What we have to do? Debit. Next, so that entry is called as what, ma? So cash should be credited and Shiva should be debited. So what is the entry? Shiva account debit to cash account. Okay, now next, from third journal entry onwards, we will pass the journal and we will do the ledgers at the same time and we will do the trial balance. Okay, now for same journal entry, what we have to do? Journal, ledger and trial balance. Like that we can discuss from the third journal entry onwards. Next one what, ma? Cash received from Mr. Ram. What are the outcomes? Cash and Mr. Ram are the outcomes. So cash is an what, ma? Asset having the debit balance. So receive means increasing or decreasing? Increasing. So what we have to do? We have to do the debit. Next one what, ma? Mr. Ram. So we are receiving from the Ram means Ram is called as debtor. Yes or no? So at the time of receiving from the debtor value will be decreases. The debtor value decreases means which value is decreasing? Asset value is decreasing. What we have to do, ma? We have to do the credit. So what is the entry? Cash account debit to Ram account. Cash account debit to Mr. Ram account. So in this way we have discussed in the previous class. Okay. For this journal entry, we are going to discuss the ledgers also. We are going to discuss what, ma? Ledgers. So for the ledger, there is a format we already learn in the CMA foundation itself. Okay, now first of all, I will discuss the clear format. Okay, now after that, we can use simple T shape and we can solve the remaining questions. Okay, now can you switch on the fan? Okay. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Okay, what is the ledger format? Even though we are not discussed. So normally the ledger is having a which shape, ma? T shape. This is called as an account. This is called as account. So what is the format? Date, particulars. So in journal we have used the word called as LF. LF means ledger folio. Here we have to use the word called as JF. So date, particulars, JF and amount. So date, particulars, JF and amount. So first of all, I am writing the account called as cash account. I'm taking the account called as what ma? Cash account. We have to put the heading at the center of the page. So left hand side we will call it as what ma? Debit record. Right hand side we will call it as what ma? Credit record. Here, in order to differentiate the debit side and credit side, in the middle of the account we have to draw the two lines. How many lines we have to draw? Two lines in order to differentiate the debit side and credit side. So what is the first column name? The first column name is date, particulars, LF or JF? JF, because we have used the word of LF in the journal. Now in order to reference point of the from where we have taken the journal entry to here. Okay na? Next one what ma? Amount in rupees. Amount in rupees. Next one again date, particulars, journal folio and the amount rupees. So these are the columns we have to take for each and every ledger account. Now how to post this in this ledger account? So what is the journal entry ma here? Cash account debit to RAM account. In the journal entry, cash is debited or credited? Cash is debited. So that in the cash account also we have to record in debit side or credit side? We have to record in the debit side. Because in the journal entry, cash is debited. So that in the cash account, we have to record on the debit side. At the time of recording the debit, we have to use the word called as to. At the time of recording the credit asset, we have to use the word called as by. So date is not given. Let us take an imagine of date 27th January 2025 is the date. What is the date ma? 27th January 2025. In the date column we have to write the date. What is the date ma? 27th January 2025 is the date. So why we are recording on the debit side? Because in the journal entry cash is debited or credited? Cash is debited. So that in the cash account we have to record on the debit side or credit side? Debit side. But in the cash account we should not use the word called as cash again. Okay na? In the cash account again we should not use the word called as what ma? Cash account. We have to record in the debit side with the name of opposite account. With the name of opposite account. What is the opposite account is there? Mr. Ram. So to Mr. Ram account. To Mr. Ram account. Like this we need to record. Once again I am repeating. We have opened the account called as what ma? Cash account. So cash is debited or credited? Cash is debited. So that in the cash account we have to record on the debit side or credit side? On the debit side. While recording the debit side we have to use the word called as what ma? To. While recording the credit side we have to use the word called as by. Okay na? So but in the cash account again we should not use the word called as cash. Okay na? We have to record with the opposite asset account. We have to record with the name of opposite asset. What is the opposite asset here? Mr. Ram. So that we are using the to Mr. Ram account. How much amount? Amount is 10 lakhs. So like that we have to record. Okay na? Once cash account is open, so no need to open again the cash account. No need to open again the cash account. So how many cash transactions are there will be recorded in this account. Okay, now month wise we will record the ledgers. Month wise, year wise, month wise. So imagine in this month we are having only one transaction. Imagine in this month we are having how many transactions? Only one transaction. Now we have to do the balancing. Now we have to do what ma? Balancing. How to do the balance? First of all, we have to do the total. First of all, we need to do the total. What is the total of the debit? 10 lakhs. Total of debit is 10 lakhs. So for the total, we have to use the 2 strikes under the total column. How many strikes? 2 strikes. So what is the total of the credit? The total of the credit is 0. Now first of all, debit is more, credit is more. Debit is more, so that this particular account is showing the debit balance. Okay now. So in order to do the balance, so what is the highest amount here? The highest amount is 10 lakhs. So we need to write in the total columns which amount ma? Highest amount we have to record on the both the sides of the ledger accounts. Okay, highest amount we have recorded. Okay, now what is the balance in the credit side? What is the balance? Sir, what is the meaning of balance? Means difference amount. What is the meaning of balance? Means what ma? Difference. What is the difference here? In the debit side we are having the 10 lakhs. In the credit side we are having the 0. So that what is the difference amount? The difference amount is called what ma? 10 lakhs. The 10 lakhs is called as a balance amount. The 10 lakhs is called as what ma? Balance. So in order to show the balance amount, we have to round up. We have to do the what ma? Round up. That means in the debit side we have recorded the 10 lakhs. In the credit side we have, there is any transaction? No. There is no transaction. So what is the balance amount? 10 lakh. So this is like this we have to do the balancing. Now for this we have, what we have to write ma? We have to write by balance carried on. By balance carried on. This balance carried on will be recorded only at the end of the month. So what is the month ending? So this is, what is the current month ma? January. So the month ending is called as 31st January 2025. So carried on should be recorded for the month end, for the month beginning, for the month end. So this balance is having a debit side or credit side? This balance is having a debit balance. This balance is having which balance ma? Debit balance. So that we need to carry forward to the next year. We need to carry forward to the next year. So how we have to carry forward? By the name called as what ma? To balance brought down. By the name called as what ma? To balance brought down. Why we are writing the to balance brought down? We are carry forwarding to the next month. So it will be debit side or credit side? It will be debit side, because what is the meaning of this one? We are having the debit balance. What is the meaning of this one? We are having the debit balance. This brought down will be recorded only month beginning. Which month beginning? Next month beginning. What is the next month beginning? So 1st February 2025 is the next month beginning. Like that we have to do the balancing. Once again I will explain. What is the first step? What is the journal entry ma? Cash account debit to Mr. Ram is the journal entry. So how to record the journal entry? We will get the clarity. Okay now, if you know how to record the journal entry, then only we can post into the ledgers. The way of recording in the ledger is called as posting. The way of recording in the ledger is called as posting. The way of recording the journal is called as journalization, or we can call it as a recording, or we can call it as what ma? Recording. So what is the journal entry? We have cash account debit to Mr. Ram account. First of all, we have opened the cash account. So what is the ledger format? Date particulars JF amount. Date particulars JF amount. JF means journal folio. It is the reference page number of the journal from where we have taken this particular cash. So in the left hand side we will record the debit record. In the right hand side we will record the credit record. Okay now. So cash account we have opened, or Mr. Ram account, cash account we have opened. So cash account is debited in the particular journal entry or credited in the particular journal entry? Debited in the particular journal entry. So that we have to record on the debit side of the cash account with the name of opposite asset. With the name of opposite asset. If anything we have record on the debit side, we have to use the word called as to. If anything we have record on the credit side, we have to use the word called as by. So that how we have recorded ma? To Mr. Ram account. How much? 10 lakhs. So in the current month we are having only one transaction. In the current month we are having how many transactions? Only one transaction. So we need to balance it. We need to balance. Month wise we need to balance or year wise? Month wise. So here the debit side is more than the credit side, or credit side is more than the debit side? Debit side is more than the credit side. So that this particular account is showing a debit balance or credit balance? So that this particular account is showing a debit balance. So that the brought down, where it will be? The brought down should be on the debit side. Carried down should be on the credit side. Why ma? For the closing balance we use the C by D. Okay now. For the month beginning, what we have to do is B by D. C by D means closing balance. B by D means beginning balance. C means closing, B means beginning. So that we are using the word called as B slash D. We are using the C slash C for closing balance. Closing will be done for the current month ending. Okay, now closing will be done for the current month ending. Okay, now brought down should be done for the next month beginning. So like this we have to do the balancing. You get the clarity? So next, which account we need to open? We need to open the next Mr. Ram account. So what is the format, ma? So once the account is open, no need to open the once again the another same account in the current month. For example, once we have opened the cash account in the January month, so is there any transactions regarding to the cash? We can post in that particular account only. Okay, na? So what are the columns? Date, particulars, JF or LF? JF, amount. Date, particulars, JF, and amount. So what is the account name, ma? Mr. Ram account. So left hand side is called as debit record, right hand side is called as credit record. So what are the column names? Date, particulars, JF, amount in rupees. Date, particulars, JF, amount in rupees. These are the columns. What ma? These are the columns. Now, what is the journal entry we have taken? We have taken the journal entry called as cash account debit to Mr. Ram account. Now we have to post in which account? Cash account or Mr. Ram account? Mr. Ram account. Already we have posted in the cash account. Completed or not completed? Completed. Now we have to post in which account? Ram account. Ram account is debited or credited? Credited. So that in the Ram account, we have to post on the debit side or credit side? We have to post on the credit side with the opposite account name. With the opposite account. What is the opposite account? Cash account. So in the credit side, while going to record in the credit side, we have to use the word called as what, ma? Buy. So in the credit side, how we have to post, ma? What is the date? 27th January 2025 is the date. 27th January 2025 is the date. So while posting in the credit side, we have to use the word called as buy. So we should not use the word of Mr. Ram in that account once again. So what is the opposite asset? The opposite asset is called as cash. So that buy cash account. So how much amount? 10 lakhs. Now there is no any another entry, any transactions regarding to the Mr. Ram in the current month. Okay, na? So now we are on the end of the month. So 31st January 2025. Imagine now we are on the which date? 31st January 2025. Is there any transactions, sir? No, there is no transactions regarding to the Mr. Ram account. Okay, now what we have to do? We need to balance the account. So what is the account balance is showing? Here the account balance is showing debit balance or credit balance? Credit balance, because the credit side is more than the debit side. So that this particular account showing the credit balance. Now while balancing, what is the first step? We have to write the totals. So in the total, we have to record the highest amount or lowest amount? Highest amount. So what is the highest amount? 10 lakhs is the highest amount. So in the total column, I am recording the highest amount called how much, ma? 10 lakhs. So in the debit side also, how much amount we have to record? 10 lakhs. So here, what is the difference amount? 10 lakhs. Debit side there is no amount, yes or no? In the credit side we are having the 10 lakhs. So 10 lakhs minus 0, how much, ma? 10 lakhs. So 10 lakhs is the difference amount. So that we have to record on the debit side or credit side? Credit side. So this is called as what, ma? Balance amount or highest amount? Balance amount. So that balance amount should be carry forward to the next month. The balance amount should be carry forward to the next month. So this is called as what ma? Closing balance. This is called as what ma? Closing balance. For that closing balance, we have to use the word called as C/D. Okay na? So month ending, next month beginning, month ending. What is the month ending ma? 31st January 2025. So in the debit side, while going to record anything, we have to use the word called as what ma? To. So to balance carried on. Carried on means closing balance. Carried on means what ma? Closing. It should be carry forward to the next month beginning. Okay na? We have to record on the credit side or debit side? Credit side. Why we have to record on the credit side? Because we are getting the credit balance. Because we are getting what ma? Credit balance. So what is the next month beginning? 1st February 2025. By balance brought down. So what is the amount ma? 10 lakhs and 10 lakhs. That means what ma? If you are getting the by balance brought down means that account is showing a credit balance. If you are getting the to balance brought down means that account is showing a debit balance. Or otherwise, if the debit side is more, we can call it as a debit balance. If the credit side is more, we can call it as a credit balance. How many ways are there? 2 ways. If the brought down is on the debit side means we are having the debit balance. If the brought down is on the credit side means we are having the credit balance. Or if the debit side is more than the credit side means that account is showing the debit balance. Or credit side is more than the debit side means that account is showing the credit balance. In this way we can find out the balances of the accounts. So what is the first step? If in the journal entry, if the account is debited means we have to record on the debit side of that particular account. We have to use the word called as to. While closing, we have to record the, first of all, we have to open the totals column. In the total column, we have to record the highest amount or lowest amount. Highest amount. Next, we have to see the difference. We have to see the difference. The difference amount is called as a balance. Okay na, balancing figure or balance amount. Okay na. So first of all, we need to use in the side of lowest side, we'll get the what ma? Balance amount. There we have to record the C/D. C/D means what ma? Carry down. There we have to put the month ending or next month beginning. Current month ending date, there we have to put. So next of all, next we have to brought forward to the next month. Next month, what is the next month beginning here? 1st February 2025 is the next month beginning. Like this, we need to balance the account. Like this, we need to do what ma? Balance of the account. So in order to get the clarity, once you open the concept book, there will be a steps. What ma? Steps for the ledgers. So what is the concept number 3? Open the page number 13. So what is the first step of balancing ma? What is the given concept? At the end of the every accounting year, all the accounts which are operated in the ledger books are closed and total and balanced. Okay na? When ma? At the end of the accounting year, all the accounts are closed and transferred. Okay na? Not only at the end of the every accounting year, we will do at the end of the month. Okay na? So balances. How the balancing will be there ma? Balancing of a ledger means find out the difference between the debit and credit amounts for a particular account. What we need to do ma? First of all, we need to find out the difference for the debit and credit side. Nominal accounts are not balanced. Nominal accounts are balanced or not balanced? Not balanced at the end of the year. Okay na? For every month we will do the balancing. For every month we will do the balancing. But at the end of the year, we should not do the balancing for the nominal accounts. What are the nominal accounts? The nominal accounts are expenditure, losses, incomes and gains. For that particular accounts, for example, salary is an expenditure. Okay na? Commission received, it is an income. Okay na? For this type of accounts, we should not do the balances at the end of the year, at the end of the month, at the end of the year. But every month what we have to do? For every month we have to do the balancing. Okay, now we should not do the balances for the end of the month because we need to transfer to the profit and loss account, so that we should not do the balances at the end of the month, at the end of the year, at the end of the year. But for every month ending, what we have to do, we have to do the balances for all type of accounts. What are the all type of accounts means? Personal account, real account, and nominal account. So balancing of your personal and real accounts only are carry forward to the next accounting period. The balance of nominal accounts will be carry forward to the, will not be carry forward to the next period. Nominal accounts are balanced and carry forward to the which account ma? P&L account, profit and loss account. This should be done only at the end of the year, at the end of the month, only at the end of the year. So what is the format ma? Date, particulars, JF and amount. Date, particulars, JF and amount. And again what ma? Date, particulars, JF and amount. Date column means in this column contains the what ma? Date of the transaction. Next particulars means what ma? This column contains the which account is credited and which account is to be debited. JF means what ma? Journal folio. This column contains the folio, means what ma? Page number of the journal where the transaction is recorded. Where the transaction is recorded. So DR amount and CR amount. This column shows the financial values of each transaction. Okay now. The posting of the account which is debited is done on the debit side. Okay na? Debited account will be done on the debit side by writing what ma? By writing the name of the account or the accounts that are credited with the prefix to 2. Okay na? We will record with the name of credit asset while recording the debit asset. What ma? While posting the debit asset, we will use the word of, we will use the name of credit asset name while recording the debit asset. In the same way, while posting the credit asset, we have to use the name called as debit account name. Okay na? We have seen clearly in the at the time of balancing. Okay na? Do you get a clear picture about the ledger? Okay na? Like this, we need to prepare the ledger accounts. Okay na? But in our class, so we will use the only T shape. We will use the what ma? Only T shape, because to complete the revision in a fast manner. Okay na? That's all. So this is how we need to do the posting. So please take a note of it. Okay, now for the online viewers also, you have to write the notes. So please take a note of it. Completed. Okay, Nama, completed. So what is the next one? The ledgers is the journal is called as a recording. Ledger is called as what ma? Classifying. What is the next step? Summarizing. What is the meaning of summarizing? Trial balance. What is the meaning of summarizing ma? Trial balance. How to prepare the trial balance? What is the shape of trial balance? T shape. There are in the two ways we can prepare the trial balance. We can prepare in the T shape. So left hand side we will record the debit balances, right hand side we will record the credit balances. We can see in the next class clearly about the trial balance, no problem. So in this class we have learned about the ledgers, okay na? So let us take the another example. So example number 3. 2 completed journal entries. Take the third one. Take the third journal entry. Purchased goods for rupees 10 lakhs. Purchased goods for rupees 10 lakhs. So here we are purchased the goods. So that we should not use the goods in the journal entry. We should not use the goods in the journal entry. We have to use the word called as purchases. If you purchase the goods means we should not use the word called as goods. But at the time of purchase of asset, we can use the word asset. We can use the word asset. But here we need to use the word called as what ma? Only purchases. Okay na. So here the purchases. What are the two outcomes ma? Purchases and cash. We should not use the word called as goods. Okay na? Purchases and cash. So purchases is an expenditure. Yes or no ma? Purchases is an what ma? Expenditure. Which balance? Debit balance. Is an expenditure. Which balance we are having ma? Debit balance. We are using which approach ma? Modern approach. Okay. Debit balance. Here the purchases value increases or decreases? Increases. Initially we are having the purchases. No. Initially we are having the purchases of goods. No. Now only we have purchased the goods. That means the expenditure increases or decreases? Increases. So increases means what we have to do ma? We have to do debit. Debit balance increases. What we have to do? We have to do the debit. So increases. We should do debit. Next one, cash. What is the meaning of cash ma? Asset or liability, expenditure or income. It is an asset. Asset means which balance? Debit balance. Okay na? Expenditure and asset is debit balance. Liabilities and incomes are credit balance. So asset is a debit balance. Next one ma. So we are purchasing the goods by way of paying the cash. We are purchasing the goods by way of paying the cash. So the cash balance increases or decreases? The cash balance is decreases. So decreases. So decreases. So what we need to do? The debit balance decreases means we should do credit. We should do what ma? Credit. So what is the journal entry we will get? Purchases should be debited. Okay na? Cash should be credited. First we need to write the debit account name. Next we have to write the credit account name. So what is the entry ma? Purchases account debit to. Purchases account debit to what ma? Cash account. How much amount? 10 lakhs and 10 lakhs. So is there any doubt in this journal entry ma? So first of all we need to take the correct assets. What are the assets we need to take? Purchases, because we are purchasing the goods or asset ma? We are purchasing the goods, so that we need to use the word called as what ma? Purchases. While purchasing the plant and machinery, we have to take the word called as plant and machinery directly. Okay na? So for this we need to open what ma? Ledgers. We need to open what ma? Ledgers. What are the ledgers we need to open? Purchase account and cash account. Just I am using the T shape because we have clearly explained the what is the format of the ledger, how to balancing it, clearly explain. In order to reduction of time, what ma? In order to reduce the time of discussion, just I am using the T shape. Okay na? So what is the format? Ledger, I am taking the T shape. So right hand side what ma? Debit record. Left hand side what ma? Credit record. So which account first of all we need to take? Purchases account. Purchases account. So now say ma, purchase is debited or credited? Purchase is debited, so that in the purchase account we have to record on the debit side with the name called as credit account name. What is the credit account name? Cash. So while recording in the debit side, we need to use the word called as what ma? To. So to cash account, how much ma? The amount is 10 lakhs. The amount is what ma? 10 lakhs. Next, which account we need to open? We need to open the account called as cash account. Why I am opening ma? So previously we have opened, no sir, you can use that account. So, but we are going to discussion for a journal entry wise. I am going to discuss. That's all. So, which account we need to open ma? Cash account. Okay. Left hand side is debit record. Right hand side is credit record. So, cash is on the debit side or credit side? Cash is credited in the journal entry, so that we need to post on the credit side. While going to record anything on the credit side, we have to use the word what ma? By. So here, which account name we need to use? We need to use the debit account name. Okay na? In the cash account should not be recorded. The cash account should not be recorded. So that what ma? By purchases account. What is the amount ma? 10 lakhs. Sir, this is a format is correct? No. The ledger format is what ma? We have clearly discussed previously. Okay na? The same format we have to use. But here, in order to reduce the time of the discussion, what I am doing in a simple manner, because already we have discussed these things in the CMA foundation only. So that, okay na? So next ma, what is the next step? We need to do the balancing. While balancing, first what we have to do? We have to write the totals column. What are the total columns ma here? 10 lakhs and 10 lakhs. Okay now, what is the difference amount? 10 lakhs. What is the difference amount ma? 10 lakhs. The difference amount should be recorded on the, okay now, on the lesser amount side. What is the lesser amount side? Credit side. What is the difference amount? 10 lakh. Should be recorded on the lesser amount side. What is the lesser amount side? Credit side. So here this is called as what ma? Balancing figure. This is called as what ma? Balancing figure. In this balancing figure, what we have to write? By balance carried on. Okay now, this carried on means what ma? Closing date balance. Closing date balance. This should be carried forward to the next month. But on which side? Debit side. Why we need to record on the debit side? Because this particular account is showing debit balance or credit balance. Debit balance, because the debit side is more than the credit side. So this particular account is having the debit balance. So in the next month, while going to carry forward to the next month, we have to record on the debit side itself. So what ma? To balance brought down how much? 10 lakhs. So that means in this particular account, we are having the balance of 10 lakhs. That too on the debit side or credit side? That too on the debit side. Okay na. Next, we have to close which account ma? We have to close the cash account. So first of all, we need to do what ma? Totals. In the total column, we have to record the highest amount or lowest amount? Highest amount. So what is the highest amount ma? 10 lakhs and 10 lakhs. What is the difference amount? In the credits, in the debit side, we are having the 0. In the credit side, we are having the 10 lakhs. The difference amount should be recorded on the lowest side. What is the lowest side? Debit side. So how much amount we need to record? Difference amount. What is the difference amount? 10 lakhs. Here what we have to record ma? This is a closing balance or opening balance? Closing balance. So that we need to record what ma? To balance carried on. To balance carried on. This format is a wrong, even though in order to reduce the time, I have taken this format, that's all. So this should be carried forward to the next month. On which side it should be there? Credit side. Why ma? The credit side is more or debit side is more? Credit side is more. So by balance brought down or carried on? Brought down. How much amount ma? 10 lakhs. That means we are taking to the next month. On which side we have to record ma? Credit side, because this account is having the balance on which side? Credit side. So by balance brought down means this account is having the credit balance. To balance brought down means that account will have the debit balance. So like that we need to post in the ledgers. Okay na? So please take a note of it. I think you have completed this one. Or you can take the clear account format, or you can do on your own way. Complete. Yesterday, I have got the comment for YouTube videos. Okay, now for this 100% English batch only, we uploaded. We are going live now daily. In that, I have got one comment. Someone has commented. Let me show the things. It should be internet connection. What happened? Huh? You were there only, yeah? Uh-huh. So this is the comment. I think you can able to read, I think so. Okay. So let us take the fourth example. Not complete, huh? Okay. Huh? On BCCA? Live. Live, our section is going on. Our section is going on. Okay, let us take the fourth example. I will discuss totally 25 journal entries. How many? 25. After that, you can solve your journal entry questions in our books. Okay, na? So next, goods sold for rupees 15 lakhs. Goods sold for rupees how much ma? 15 lakhs. What happened, Kavya? Is there any issue? Okay. What? Yes. This is CMA internet. Okay, what are the outcomes? Okay, if you're not recording the notes means you will be sleep in the class. Yes or no? If you sleep, I will get a sleep. If I got the sleep, the live batch will go on. Okay. What are the outcomes? Here, what ma? We have sold the goods or we have sold the asset? We have sold the goods. So that we need to use the word called as what ma? Sales. So what is the outcome? Sales and cash. So sale means what ma? Income or expenditure? Income. Sale means income. Okay na. Income means which balance? Credit balance. Income means credit balance. Is there any previously we are having the income regarding the sales? No. Now only we made the sales. So the income increases or decreases? Increases. If you observe in the previous transaction whether we are having any income? No. Now only we have got the income. So previously we are having the income of 0 rupees. Now we are having the income of how much? 15 lakhs. That means increasing or decreasing? Increasing. So the credit balance increases. What we have to do, ma? Credit. Next one. Cash means what? Asset. Asset is having which balance? Debit balance. Asset is having what, ma? Debit balance. Now, we made the sales means we are receiving the cash or we are paying the cash. We are receiving the cash. So the cash balance increases. Decreases, sir. Increases. So what we have to do? Debit balance increases means we have to do the debit. So what is the entry, ma? Here what is the entry we have to record? So sales is credited, cash is debited. First we need to write the debit account name. So what is the entry, ma? Cash account debit to sales account. Cash account debit to sales account. What is the amount? 15 lakhs and 15 lakhs. 15 lakhs and 15 lakhs. Now, what are the accounts we need to open? We need to open the cash account and sales account. So, in the cash account, date particulars, JF1 amount, date particulars, JF1 amount. Left hand side we need to record what, ma? Debit record. Right hand side we will record on the credit record. Date particulars, JF amount. You can draw the T shape, no problem. You can draw the T shape. Date particulars, JF fund amount. So now cash is debited or credited, amma? Cash is debited in the particular journal entry. We need to record on the which side? Debit side. While going to record on the debit side, we need to use the word called as to. So to sales or to cash? To sales account. How much amount, ma? 15 lakhs. Okay, na? So there is only one transaction in the particular month. One transaction or two transactions? Only one transaction. So what we have to do, ma? We need to do the balance. While doing the balance, we have to record the first what, ma? Total. What is the total amount? 15 lakhs. So in the total column, we need to record the highest amount or lowest amount. We need to record the highest amount. Next, what is the balance we are getting? We are getting the balance of 15 lakhs. What is the meaning of balance? Difference amount. What is the meaning of balance, ma? Difference. The difference amount should be recorded on the lowest side. What is the lowest side? Credit side. So we have to record in the 15 lakhs. So this account is showing debit balance or credit balance? Debit balance, because the debit side is more than the credit side. So this is a balancing figure. We need to circle it. Okay, na? Here, what we need to record, ma? This is the closing balance. So that we need to record by balance carry down, because this is a closing balance. This closing balance should be carry forward to the next month beginning with the name called as what, ma? To balance brought down. Why we need to record on the debit side? Because this account is showing the debit balance. So we need to record on the debit side. How much amount? 15 lakhs. Like that we need to post the ledger account. Next, which account we need to open? We need to open the sales account. So date particulars, JF fund amount, date particulars, JF fund amount. Okay, now which account we are opening, ma? Sales account. So left hand side is called as debit record, right hand side is called as credit record. This left hand side and right hand side from your point of view. Okay, na? So date, particulars, JF, amount rupees. Date, particulars, JF, and amount rupees. So in the journal entry, sales is debited or credited, amma? Sales is credited. So that we need to record in the sales account which side? In the sales account credit side. While recording anything on the credit side, what we have to do? We need to use the word called as buy. So buy cash account we have to record, or buy sales account? Buy cash account, because in the sales account again we should, the word will not get what, ma? Sales. So buy cash account. What is the amount, ma? 15 lakhs. I am discussing in a journal entry wise. I am not going to discuss in a total overall sum like that. Okay, na? So what is the total amount, ma? In the total amount we have to record the highest amount. So what is the highest amount, ma? Here 15 lakhs is the highest amount. So next we need to do the balance. Okay, na? So balance means what, ma? Difference amount. What is the difference amount? 15 lakhs. This different amount 15 lakhs we have to record on the lowest amount side. What is the lowest amount side? Debit side. So that we are recording on the debit side. This is called as a closing balance or opening balance. Closing balance. While going to write anything on the debit, we need to use the prefix called as what, ma? To. So to balance carried on or brought down? Carried on means closing balance. So that means this account is showing the debit balance or credit balance? Credit balance. So that we need to brought forward onto the debit side or credit side? Debit side. By credit side, sorry. By balance brought down. How much, ma? 15 lakhs. This account is showing the credit balance. So this is how we need to post the ledgers. So please take a note of it. Completed, huh? So next I will give the examples. Okay, not completed now. Next fifth one, na? Fifth one, na? Sixth one, na? Fifth one. Next. Fifth one. Goods purchased from Mr. Ram. Goods purchased from Mr. Ram of rupees 1 lakh. Goods purchased from Mr. Ram of rupees 1 lakh. Whether this is a credit transaction or cash transaction. Credit transaction. What, ma? Credit transaction. This is not a cash transaction. Okay, the same. I will repeat it again. Goods purchased from Mr. Ram for rupees 1 lakh for cash. That is called as a cash transaction. 1 lakh for cash means that one is called as a cash transaction. This is a credit transaction only. Because here the word is not used called as what, ma? Cash. Okay, now. So here only the party name is used so that this transaction is called as a credit transaction. What are the two outcomes? We should not use the word called as what, ma? Goods. We need to use the word called as what? Purchases. So now the two outcomes are purchases and Mr. Ram. We should not take the cash. Why, ma? Because this is a credit transaction. So purchases and Mr. Ram. Okay, na guys? Yes. Purchases we know. What is the meaning of purchases, ma? Expenditure. So which balance? Debit balance. Now, so the expenditure value increases or decreases? Increases. Previously we are having the purchases of rupees 15 lakhs. Now again we have purchased the goods for 1 lakh. So 15 lakhs to 16 lakhs. That means increases or decreases? increases. So debit balance increases. What we have to do, ma? We have to do the debit. Completed, Next one, Mr. Ram. Mr. Ram. He is a debtor, he is a creditor. We purchase the goods from Ram. We purchase the goods from Ram. That means we have taken a liability. We have taken a liability. So here this particular person is called as a creditor. So write in brackets what ma? Creditor. At the time of purchases, credit purchases, the creditor value increases or decreases? Increases. So first of all, creditor. So that this is called as what ma? Liability. This is called as what ma? Liability. The liability means which balance ma? Credit balance. Whether the balance increasing or decreasing? Increasing. At the time of making the purchases, the balance will be increases. So what we have to do? Credit. So what is the journal entry we will get ma? Purchases is debited and RAM is credited. So what is the journal entry ma? Purchases account debit to RAM account. Mr. Ram account. How much ma? 1 lakh. And 1 lakh. Okay na guys. So you can draw the ledgers on your own. I think so. Try to do the ledgers for. Open the purchase account and RAM account. In the purchase account, we have to record on the debit side to RAM account. In the RAM account, we have to record on the credit side by purchase account. So purchase account will show the debit balance. Mr. RAM account will show the credit balance. There is another section of accounts afternoon 2:30 to 4. 2:30 to 4. Next Lana. Next costing accounts. Completed? Okay. Next transaction. Transaction number 6. Sixth one. Goods sold to Miss Sita. Goods sold to Miss Sita of rupees 2 lakhs. Goods sold to Miss Sita of rupees how much ma? 2 lakhs. So whether this is a cash or credit transaction? Credit transaction. So here what are the outcomes will be there? Sales and Sita. Because we are selling the goods or we are selling the asset? We are selling the goods, so that the outcome is called as sales. So sales and Miss Sita. Okay, sales. Sales means income or expenditure. Income. Sales means what ma? Income. Income, which balance? Credit balance. Income increases or decreases amma? Increases. Previously we are having the 20 lakhs sales. Now we are selling how much? 2 lakhs. The total sales value will be how much ma? 22 lakhs. That means increasing or decreasing? Increasing. That means increases. So credit balance increases. What we have to do ma? We have to do the credit. We have to do the credit. Next, Miss Sita is a person. First of all, we need to decide whether she is a debtor or creditor. So we made the goods on a credit basis, so that the person is called as what ma? Debtor. So she is a debtor. So debtor means asset or liability? Asset. So debtor means an asset. Which balance we are getting ma? Asset means debit balance. Asset means debit balance. Sir, here the debtor value increases or decreases? Increases. Okay, now initial topic only. While discussing the asset increases, I have discussed it, yes or no. At the time of credit sales, the debtor value increases. So what we have to do ma? Debit. So what is the journal entry we will get? Miss Sita account debit to sales account. So amount 2 lakhs. Like that, we need to write the journal entry. Completed? Okay now. Post the ledgers. Open the Miss Sita account and to sales account. In Sita account, 2 sales. In sales account, by Miss Sita. Sita account will get the debit balance. Sales account will get the credit balance. Completed? So next one what was? 7th transaction. 7 only. Transaction number 7. Machinery purchased for rupees 10 lakhs. Machinery purchased for rupees 10 lakhs. Here I have taken the word goods or machinery. Machinery. So asset purchased, so that we need to take the outcome only the asset or purchase asset. So here the outcomes are machinery and cash. There is a difference between goods purchased and there is a difference between asset purchased. If the asset purchased, we will take the outcome of asset. If the goods purchased, we take the outcome of purchases. So asset means, machinery means what ma? Asset. Which balance? Debit balance. Debit balance. So we are purchasing the machinery. That means what ma? The machinery comes into the business. So the machinery value will be increases. So what we need to do? Debit balance increases. We need to do what ma? Debit. Next one. Cash is also called as what ma? Asset. Asset means which balance ma? Debit balance. Asset means debit balance. So now the cash comes into the business or goes out? Goes out. That means the cash balance increases or decreases? Decreases. The cash balance decreases. What we have to do? Credit. So what is the entry we have to get? We'll get the entry called as machinery debited, cash credited. First we have to write the debit account name. So that machinery account debit to, what is the entry? Cash account. Machinery account debit to cash account. How much? 10 lakhs. So this is how we are writing the journal entry. Hi sir. Mota. Why sir? Okay, the last transaction of this class. So what is the transaction number? 8. So you can estimate. What is the next transaction? Machinery sold for rupees 15 lakhs. Machinery sold for rupees how much? 15 lakhs. So here we have sold the machinery, we have sold the goods. We have sold the machinery. So the asset, we have to take the outcome. Asset or sales. Asset. So what is the outcomes? Machinery and cash. So machinery. Machinery means an asset or liability? Asset. Asset means which balance? Debit balance. Now we are selling the asset or we are purchasing the asset? We are selling the asset. That means comes into the business or goes out? Goes out. So that the value increases or decreases? Decreases. So debit balance decreases. What we have to do? Credit. The debit balance decreases, we will do the credit. If the credit balance decreases, we will do the debit. Next, cash. Is an asset or liability? It is an asset. Which balance? Debit balance. Now, we are selling the asset means we are getting the cash or not? We are getting the cash. Comes in or goes out? Comes in. So that this is called as increasing or decreasing? Increases. So increases, what we have to do? Debit. Debit balance increases means we will do the debit. Debit balance decreases means we will do the credit. So first we have to write the debita or credita. First we have to write the debit. So what is the entry? Cash account debited to
Hello.
Oh, sorry for the interruption. Cash account debited to machinery account. So what is the amount? 15 lakhs and 15 lakhs. Here what? Debit. This is called as credit amount. So like this, we have to write the journal entries. Initially, you may get the bore. but there are some of the students may get from direct entry. Yes or no? What is the meaning of direct entry? They have completed the degree and they came to the CMA course. In the degree, not only BCom, there are some other courses also. For that students, these journal entries are helpful. Okay, na? So the more discussion will be continue in the next section. Thank you. Have a nice day. Is there any doubts? Thank you.